We outside.
Oh my god.
Got the eggy sticky sealed up in the duffel bag. My little cousin said 250 for a paper tag. I got the 17 targets on my leather jacket. The niggas try to up me, so I let them have it. Had to hit him with a bow, 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 bow. Gotta get in silencer, cause that shit is loud. I think I need a bigger scale, I just caught the pound. I'm the king of NNB, that's why I wear a crown. Cruising down 6th Ave with a blunt in my mouth. I had to tell the teacher gangster cause it came from the south. I got bad bitches out here shaking next to the park. They just pushed me in the water, had to swim with the sharks. Take a look inside my wallet, I got 20 rings.
And as I said last week, nothing is more exciting to me than the Miami Dolphins and the NFL being back in action. Fantasy football, something that I look forward to every year. Definitely fallen off a little bit. But yeah, welcome back to the Miami Sports Bar Podcast. This will be officially episode 20. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Before I talk about anything, I'm really only going to talk about the Dolphins. Last week, pretty much like today, like tonight, be about exactly 7 days, sometime in the 4 or 5 in the morning, whatever. We had a coworker of ours who I worked with for almost 5 years, and is a good friend of mine for sure. Loved him, and I'm not gonna say his name and all that, because if you know, you know, and if you don't, then whatever. I don't need to put our family's business out there, but you know, it was a tough loss. It really affected me all weekend. We are collecting money. Thankfully, our job is gonna step in from the corporate office and also help to make sure that his funeral arrangements are taken care of. And I'm not talking about this on here just for like clout or to like do something inappropriate, like, because you know, the only reason that I mention him and his passing on the podcast right now is because he always would ask me about the podcast, always trying to like encourage me and tell me I got to keep it up or try to give me funny ideas. You know, like, he was someone that definitely believed in my idea of doing this and what I wanted to do, and, you know, would call me out on not doing the things that I planned on doing for the podcast, like interviews and stuff. And he was probably like the first person to ask me if he could come on the podcast and just shoot the shit with me. And I just kept like, I mean, just be honest, I just like not pushing him off. I haven't really interviewed anyone except for like Samantha and stuff like that, even though it wasn't an interview. I mean, we live together, so it's kind of just like whatever, like, you know, it's already here, no planning necessary, you know. But I know he always wanted to be on the podcast, and even though it's like obviously like he didn't want to be on the podcast because it's like, you know, oh my god, we're gonna be famous, like, you know, like, you know, it was a small scale thing, and it just really sucks, and I'll regret it for the rest of my life that I didn't. But it's like it really fucks with me to think that this is the way that I have to mention him at all on this podcast. So I'm gonna miss you, buddy. I mean, I miss you right now. So it's been a tough week. Say with time you move on, you know. I mean, shout out to his, you know, his family and other loved ones. I mean, it's been hard for a lot of us. He had a lot of love from, you know, whether it be like coworkers or just friends, and even like customers and regulars that just cried in front of me when I told them. So, you know, and I don't know how to transition out of such a sad subject. I do apologize. However, it is in my belief that someone like from him who supported me, that he would want me to continue, right? And to do what I love to do. Just gonna miss you, brother. And I'm really sorry that we couldn't get on the podcast once and just shoot the shit. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, you know, I don't want to do it yet because I have like clips of us definitely playing Call of Duty saved on the PS5. And I just want to like get like a little, like, just like for like to bring out the happiness, you know what I mean? Like, get a compilation of like all the like, it's not even the clips I'm talking about that are, you know, of importance in there. It's like the shit talking that we did back and forth to each other, or talking shit about whatever we were just doing, whatever we were saying about whatever was going on in the game at the moment, definitely deserves a compilation, because at least I think it's like a nice, like, it'd be a nice way, to remember him for sure. A lot of good memories. I mean, just from playing Call of Duty, dude, it's crazy. You might talk shit about video games, but you can build a lot of core memories on that thing. But unfortunately, I will move on from that subject. Weekend was crazy. We had a lot of good NFL games. Nick Chubb, unfortunately, got his leg almost snapped in half. Just see more injuries every week. People are kind of making this comparison that's like, as if this year there's more injuries than ever. And I feel like it's just recency bias. We don't see football for so long that it happens every year. At the beginning, the first 3-4 weeks, people are just falling left and right because these guys aren't in game. I mean, they're in shape, but they're not in game shape. They're not in, like, even when you practice at, full capacity, which we don't do a lot anymore in the NFL. They cut down that a lot with the NFLPA rules to try to curve injuries and try to, like, help the players out. But I feel like the detriment to that is that, because once you're on the field and you're playing, it's 100% go, 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 go. It's 2 guys running at each other with full strength, full speed, or 11 guys running at each other, 22 guys running at each other, full strength, full speed. And there's no real way to prepare for that except for practicing in those types of situations. So now here we are, and just, these bang bang plays happen. And like the Minka hit on Nick Chubb wasn't dirty. It was just bad placement. Or the guys already tackle him. I mean, when you're playing football, that's just your assignment. You go, you see the guy's still up, you got to get in there and you got to make sure that he goes down. And he did, unfortunately, for the rest of the season. That is not meant to be a joke. It looked bad, but, hopefully he's able to make a comeback. All the prayers out to him. It was a really bad... I mean, the NFL... last year they replayed Tua's concussion during that Bengals game over and over and over again. I vividly remember I was off. I was watching it. They played that probably like 15 times. They didn't even play Nick Chubb's injury once. And I'm not saying they should have. I'm saying like that's just how severe it was. That as soon as they saw it, and then there's this clip that I saw that I should have saved it, but pretty much you get the scene of when they show the replay on the big board, whatever, for the Steelers fans, and the Steelers fans are all seeing the play in slow motion, and you just hear the whole crowd go, ooh, like, like they knew it was fucking bad. But yeah, no, I mean, it's just kind of how the NFL goes. I don't think it's anything to do with, turf or rules or anything. It's just kind of like, I mean, there's 100% injury rate in the NFL. I'm not even going to say probably, there's just a injury in every game. It's ridiculous. And this just popped in my head. Can I tell you guys a very interesting stat that I didn't know? I mean, I guess it should have been obvious, but when you say it out loud, it's a little like crazy. Tom Brady, in his whole career, never took a snap in a football game where his team was mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. That means that for, what did it end up being, 20, 21, 22 seasons, whatever, and all those years, he only played 2 teams, but like in all the teams he played on, because of the rotating cast around him, and injuries and this and that he never once played in a game where his team was already eliminated. That's pretty crazy. I mean, if anyone's going to have that stat, is certainly Tom Brady. But, wow. Like, that's just, when you put it like that, dude. I heard that and I was just like, that's got to be insane. I mean, there can't be anybody even close to that. Because, I mean, football is just like that type of sport that statistically it always regresses to the mean. Teams get really, really top heavy and they play really well, and then they have they kind of fall back down to earth a little bit, then they go up, and then they go down, and they go up, then they go down. Some teams take a very deep dive and stay down for a while. Some teams stay up for a while, but it always usually kind of evens out. All right. If you don't understand regression to the mean, just Google it, because I'm not going to give you a stats fucking lesson right now. But yeah, no, insane. Shout out Tom Brady. As much as I hated that motherfucker for 26 years of my life, which is how old I am right now. Crazy. Well, for week 2, as you can imagine, I'm going to basically keep up the trend. I will try to do this every single week, win or loss. This week I cut down the video a lot. I didn't want to... It's just kind of like the whole, the thing from earlier with the passing. I don't want to, make such a long episode. I kind of got this video down to only 5 minutes. It's also much more of a low-scoring game. I probably did miss out on some big plays. I tried to keep in some plays that I wanted to highlight for you guys and talk about. Of course, it was a big win. It certainly was. I do have up here on the screen, I got this little pen thing on the app, so I can try to, seem like I know what I'm talking about. And, I'll be like, oh, yeah, look at what he does when he goes over here, and he's going to go right up his own ass, you know what I mean? And actually, now that I think about it, I might have fun with that. I got very close to drawing a dick and balls. That is not good. That is a very bad. But anyways, so, bear with me as I'm transitioning from going back to this. That's the only annoying part. Going clicker, pen, clicker, pen, clicker, pen. Well, I could probably make a different hotkey for that. That's a lot. Yeah, no, I'm not pressing that. All right, well, anyways, let's get into this game. I don't know why I really left. Last week, I kind of had the volume too high, but I also think the microphone was a little too far from me. So I'm going to try to keep this a little lower. I also had it lower there in general. Okay, that play I definitely know. So you're going to see Tua snap this ball, play action. He's going to, let me use the first time with the pen. You're going to watch his eyes. When he gets back into the pocket, you're going to see him look that way, look that way, look that way. And he's going to see his dump off option, Raheem Mostert. It's going to be right over here. DB is going to come up, read that all the way. Tua pumps, runs up the field, and gets a beautiful first down. It's something that I guess I was trying to talk about a lot last week was his progression with his knowledge and how he's able to read plays and actually, make better decisions. Obviously, he had an interception later in the game that I certainly, there's a clear screen button, that I certainly did not add in this one because I just don't want to hear about the underthrow, whatever. It's just kind of the DB made a great play. He high pointed the ball. It wasn't something it just is what it is. But I'm not, Let me just state this just for the record, just so I can be on my podcast already. I'm going to go full screen for this. I don't need Tua to throw the ball 70 yards on a rope. I need him to be able to throw it 40, 50 yards on a rope. I need him to be able to throw it in the middle of the field on time with accuracy. Because some plays that I left in here, you'll see what is so valuable about him. Including this play that I had already just told you guys what he's going to do, which just shows the maturity that he has. Play action, makes the read, keeps the ball. And he doesn't get the first, that's right. He slid way too early. Well, he didn't slide way too early, but he slid way too early to get that first down. And see, that's another play right here where you see him. Wow, that's actually really fun. So you can't see Braxton Berrios down at the bottom of the screen, of course. But Tua's eyes are staying right, and they're staying in the middle. It's going to give Braxton Berrios the space that he needs on his coverage to get open and get an easy first down with a couple extra yards. Just watch. Let me go that one, this click thing. And you see the linebacker. He's too busy looking up there because Tua's looking up there. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you're taught as a defensive player, you're always looking at the quarterback and trying to read the eyes. Definitely have a few run plays in here because they're blocking tremendous. Tyreek Hill making good blocks. I mean, everybody getting involved. And these are the type of plays, like that's just an example. I just left that in there for an example of Mike McDaniel offense. People in motion, that's an easy zone read. They're playing zone. They're just trying to keep everything in front of them. They're scared, obviously. They're fearful. Oof. And then Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb has finally arrived for the Dolphins this season. I mean, last year he came in the middle of the year, so, he gets the pass. But already in 2 games, he has like 2 sacks, fumble now. This guy is doing exactly what we traded, doing exactly what we wanted him to do when we traded for him, Jalen Phillips didn't play today. Andrew Van Ginkel, which you'll see, I'm going to show clips from like media outlets trying to talk about the Dolphins now. And everybody who hated him now loves him. Another good run for Raheem. He's just tough, dude. It's not even about the gain. It's just about how tough he runs, and on top of being fast. The play that he had, and this is just an example, really, because you already know, if you know football, if you know the Patriots, Bill Belichick is the type of guy that his main thing on defense is taking away your best attributes. What are the Dolphins' best attributes? Speed, downfield accuracy. Tyreek Hill is obviously coming off motion here. So when Tyreek Hill is running, already at this point he's already probably at 60% speed. Once the ball is snapped, he's 100%. Right? These guys are giving him so much cushion that all he has to do is sit right down here. And Tua's just waiting. They already know. That's what the play they drew up. You know what I'm saying? And as I said last week, the advice that they got from Dan Marino, which is basically for everybody to get on the same page and understand the reads that they're all trying to make at the same time in a very, very fast game played by professional players. It's clearly showing out when they're getting throws completed on time, in stride. This one's obviously not in stride. Ends up basically just being some type of weird wheel curl route. But I'll show you a deep slant from Waddle later on where he comes up, cuts in. As soon as he cuts in, the ball hits him in his hands in stride. River Craycraft gets it literally on the same side, gets it played just like that. I mean, they're reading the defense. They're making the plays. They're on the same page. Look at that. And they're thinking that's a bomb. They give him all the cushion. DB has to come all the way from behind. But it doesn't matter. We get the first down. Oh, there you go. I didn't know. That was a play right there. Can't say it better myself, right? On time, on target. That's what we love Tua for. Understanding the offense, making the reads, getting the ball out quick. And then Jalen Waddle. This is just pure Jalen Waddle beauty. Except when you look. So I think who ends up making the play on Waddle to save probably a touchdown is 25. Tyreek again in motion, looking like he's going for a big play. Waddle just sits. All Waddle has to do is get past this. I mean, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's definitely a linebacker. So all he has to do is get past this linebacker, which for Jalen Waddle, I mean, if it's going to be easy for someone, it's going to be easy for one of these two guys. Obviously, this time the screen is set up for Waddle. Tyreek is their big distraction. It doesn't go for a touchdown. It definitely could have. And you see just the fact that he has to backpedal, and he's getting just a little worried that he has to cover Tyreek on a bomb. And this is 2nd and 19 right here. Moves back just that much. And now when he comes up to make this tackle, where if he didn't have to, where it's barely a tackle, he just trips him barely. That's what I'm saying. It's touchdown saving. Where if he, instead of backing up all the way, he would have just sat. He would have been right here. And I'm not saying that, it's a guaranteed tackle. But you have a DB who goes from backpedaling to just sitting in his zone, waiting to see how the play develops, instead of immediately reacting to Tyreek Hill on a motion. It's tough. Even for the great Bill Belichick defense. I mean, did they keep us in check? Yeah, relatively. But we answered. And then obviously you see Raheem Mostert later, him right now scoring the first of his 2 touchdowns. Said, okay, we can't throw, then we'll run. We're a better running team than you thought. Raheem Mostert's a better running back than you thought. And that's another. That's that River Craycraft throw. Same, just like Jalen Waddles. Tua comes out. Just. And it's crazy because it's like, look at all this cushion. Look at them. And the closest guy, and this is a linebacker, is 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Tyreek is getting 10 yards of cushion. That's got to be Barrios getting 10 yards of cushion. That's River Craycraft. Even Craycraft. That's how they designed their defense for this week, which is insane to me. How they have our wide receiver 3 or 4 on our depth chart, basically, because it's definitely between these 2 guys. And they're giving him all this cushion. He eats up all that space. And it's just a classic. It's just a deep slant. Because he doesn't cut clean across. He takes that space and just cuts right in front of his body. And Tua's going to hit him right where he needs to be, in stride. Just another easy first down. Of course, they definitely did adjust later on. And it wasn't as easy in the second half, but our defense wasn't going to let them do anything either. So I see, eats up all that space, takes that deep. Oh, gee, and look at how backed up he ended up being by the end of that. That's insane. Like, they're just playing these deep zones. I mean, basically little to no man. This throw. I'm not drawing nothing for this. Just look at him. Feeling the pressure on his left side. Makes the adjustment, and that throw is threading the fucking needle, dude. Look, just they show another. That's why I said I'm not drawing anything, because they show another angle. And then, because you see Braxton Berrios' route, where he starts outside, comes in, he just like how he drew on. This is not my drawing. This is Chris Collinsworth, I guess. Basically, runs like a loop inside, curl like. Just runs back out to the first pylon in the corner. And Tua just has just enough space to put it right above this corner and a little to right of the safety into Braxton Berrios' fucking breadbasket. I mean, just throw with the pressure behind him. And he's still looking around. And if you see his head, dude, is there a way? Hold on, let me pause for 1 second. Okay, so I did put this video in half speed. For the moment, I figured out that I can do it right there. I didn't need to pause. It took me 2 seconds. So bear with me on this play, as it's going to go super slow right now. You see Tua, right? But just watch his head. Even though he knows he's still looking left at Waddle, looking in the middle of the field, and still has that time and recognition to make that fucking touchy of a throw. That's insane. Left, middle, so fuck it. I'm getting it out there to Braxton. In the basket, dude. And shout out to the safety who he definitely could have made an egregious play at the end and nailed Braxton Berrios. Probably would have got hit with a terrible penalty for hitting a defenseless receiver. So shout out to him for pulling up and making sure it didn't happen. Oh, so I left this in here just so that we can recognize that that is the first time and the only time in these 2 games that we started the season in that he's been sacked. Tua has not been sacked. And, you know, it's crazy because sometimes these throws, and I mean, we also need to keep in mind because it's like, it's just, as an NFL fan and as a football fan, right, and as a Dolphin fan, whatever your team is, like, obviously, you want every play to be amazing, right? And that's what's the difference with basketball is because, like, when basketball, the other team goes on a 7-0 run, that happens, like, in a minute or 2. And then you go on a run, and then, you know, that's what they call basketball the game of runs. You're going back and forth, back and forth. And the NFL, you know, your little mistakes, your overthrows, your underthrows, your inaccurate passes, your missed blocking assignments, running the wrong routes, making the wrong reads, playing the wrong zone, biting on a play action. All these little things count so much more because one little mistake can cost you so much, or at the very least cost you a first down, or you give up a first down, give up a touchdown, a field goal, whatever the case is. So I get that, it's upsetting when Tua is not always accurate, but a lot of his inaccuracies, because we got to watch that. His inaccuracies, it's just like this is not right? This is a quote unquote underthrow. But it's not because he doesn't have the arm to throw. This is not even a far throw. This is from the 30 to the 40. That's a 30-yard throw. All he did was misplace it just a tad, but it's still complete. It's just for perspective. And then here's Xavier Howard showing why he was so mad a couple years ago and why he wanted to get more money. Because, this interception is insane. And I was so glad that they showed the replay for this because he gets that. Gets those toes down. That's an impressive interception. Absolutely. And then this. Another example of just another bad snap from our center. And Raheem Mostert. Just proving to the NFL fan base and to the community that he's still capable of playing running back at a very high level. Made something out of nothing there, which was nice. And then this. Oh, God. That's why it's scary to play in NFL, bro. It's scary to be a wide receiver taking a screen pass. And they read that the whole way. And think about it. So, the ball's already just about to be snapped right now. What is that? 5, 6, 7. Maybe 7 yards of separation right there. You got to come block. You fail. Are you Gesicki? You fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, Mike Gesicki. And he just comes, blows that up. And the craziest part is that he's not alone. Is that by the time that he's smacked down and laying on the field, you're already going to see 3 or 4 other white jerseys right there. Maybe that's a testament to Vic Fangio having these guys prepared. And also a testament to these guys and watching their film and understanding what plays can be ran out of certain formations. Because, look, I seen that. Boom. The ball's I know right now in this, pause that it really is, oh, yeah, well, clearly you can see. But I'm saying, the ball was just snapped. It was snapped, turn left. He's already, that is a sprinter's position. And he's just ready to go blow it up. God, I need a new mouse. Anyways, boom, blown up. Let me see. He's already, maybe it was 3, not 4. The linemen were ready. Everyone was just there. And then, so this drive right now that we're stopping is right after Tua's interception to Tyreek Hill, right? And I swear, shout out Johnny, shout out Justin, who were at the bar. I told them about how last week, when Tua threw the interception, we got the 3 and out, we got the ball back, and on the very first play, we score a touchdown. And I told them, watch, we're going to get the 3 and out after the interception. I said, and we're going to score a touchdown right away. I swear to God. Can't take credit. I don't get to play in the games, but I really called it. Sorry to spoil for you what's about to happen. It's kind of crazy to think how that was maybe 6 inches away from being a touchdown. Or at least a huge gain. Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert, at his peak during this run, even though it doesn't look that fast because he slows down once he clears everybody, was running at 21.6 miles an hour, something like that. And I left that in just so you guys can see another bad snap from the center. There was another good amount of bad snaps. And left that in there to support the community of Dolphin fans who say that Jason Sanders needs to get the hell out the team. We go through kickers every few years. We fall in love with them the first couple years. And then something just happens. Either they get too comfortable, they just start falling off. I don't get it. I know it's a 55-yard kick, but he'd already got blocked earlier and then missed a kick last week. We just need to get better. Mike Gesicki makes an insane catch there. Where really if Kader Kohu's hand Let me show it. So the ball is loose right there, right? Like if you see Mike Gesicki's hand, it's really not on there. He's not really in control of it. If Kader Kohu's hand is like, let's say on Gesicki's chest or something, that ball's incomplete, and I don't even get put into the position for where that last play, which apparently was super controversial for some reason. And I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed that in this condensed replay version of the game that I watched, that for this play, they didn't show the angles that they showed during the Sunday Night Football broadcast. Because he goes down. They give him the most generous spot. They give him the ball. They spot the ball. They spot it, if I'm remembering correctly, like right here. That's where they say he's down. Okay? When you get to see the camera angle from where that referee is standing, like from the camera angle behind him where the sticks are, you see his knee go down and the ball is tucked in his right hand. And his knee goes down. Basically, and it really was crazy. He was down like this close to the first yard line, to the first down line. But he was down. And I really wish that I could show you guys that angle. I didn't look it up, but it was kind of hard to like see it. I did look it up, and I couldn't really get all those replays. And oh man, you know what? I'm stupid. You know what? Bear with me. I'm gonna go see if I can find it real quick. Okay, I found it. Didn't take me long at all. And then I had to because I have NFL Plus, so like the way I do the game is I go through the condensed version and I put all the highlights together that I feel like are worth talking about or noting. Not even, I mean, there are other plays I want to keep in. I'm also just trying to keep out the ones that like, I'm not going to put it in every completion, and every great defensive stop. But clearly, you can see it. Let me see how good these straight lines would be, right? Oh, wow, I got to pay for that? That's crazy. I gotta pay for that? I gotta pay to draw things. Alright, fine. So I'll just use this pen. I'll do the best I can. So here is essentially the first down line, right? And then his knee right here on the ground. The ball is right here. Ball's right there. That's when he's down. I can't make it simpler than that, guys. I'll let the play run, or this replay run. Let's see if it clears out so you can see it brighter. Look at that. Boom. It does not.
Clearly say it's short. You can't see the hash mark. It's not to the hash yet. It's enough to reverse this. This camera's got to be clear and obvious. Yes, Chair.
I wish. How can I mean, my computer is like, the brightness is up. Obviously. There's definitely no way for me to clear the screen. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I know it might be a little hard to see, but I'm telling you, that ball is right here. And that first down line is right here. I don't know why they said it was anything other than clear and precise. Like, and you hear them talking about, oh, is it enough to overturn it? Yes. They gave this guy the the nicest spot. Oh yeah, look. Can't move my freaking mouse. It gets it dark, but you see it clearly, dude. They're trying to act. I love that man. Let me tell you, Mike McDaniel. I am so glad that we hired him as a head coach. And it's crazy because who did I want? I think I wanted Jim Harbaugh. Short of the line to gain. 29.5-yard line. They were saying the 29-yard line. That's the funniest part. Jesus. So now this isn't, I don't want to come off like I need to steal ideas or just steal someone else's content. Hopefully someday in the future I'm at the point where doing stuff like this is really going to matter to me, right? I don't care about being demonetized on YouTube. I don't care about using other people's content to show what I'm trying to deliver to whatever minuscule audience that I do have. I just wanted to put together, and I will do another time, because it's going to happen, is all these guys, and not a lot, but I put a little, a few clips together of NFL media types who are now praising the Dolphins, praising Tua, praising our defense, praising our coach, when they weren't doing that long ago. And I feel as Dolphin fans, and for people who, you know, have really waited almost a lifetime for the Dolphins to be relevant, it might be cool for you if you don't watch, you know, ESPN and whatever other outlets, whatever, it doesn't matter, you know, to hear like these pundits speak highly of your favorite football team. So let's hear Rich Eisen stroke our egos for a little bit.
In football, Tyreek Hill wasn't going crazy, but he still scored.
Yep.
Jalen Waddle didn't score, but he went a little bit crazy before he got knocked out with a concussion.
Take note of that, because later on I'm going to show a clip of Stephen A. talking, and he's going to be like, yeah, and then Jalen Waddle's touching. No, he did not score.
Braxton Berrios is doing like curly cues
like everywhere.
and Tua. How good is this guy?
Amazing.
He is really good, and he has stepped his game up in a way that I don't think a lot of people saw coming. One way to protect yourself, talk about jiu-jitsu or Tua-jitsu as we're calling it here.
It was judo, Rich.
He's going to fall on his right shoulder. He's going to fall this way, fall that way. Best way to protect yourself is get rid of the football.
Yep.
And that's what he is doing. He's seeing it and he's throwing it. And he's accurate. I know he underthrew one that kind of Christian Gonzalez. What a high point.
I have to mention it. And
player,
right.
So this is something that you got to appreciate the nuance of that. Instead of just immediately saying, of course he underthrew him on was, instead of just talking about Tua's underthrow, instead he makes it about the DB making a great play on this ball, of how he high pointed it and snatched it out of the air, which is not something. It's something that you would get for other star players, for other players, other quarterbacks, other whatever. Like the best example is, I mean, it's not specific. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks because I forgot where I heard it, but and it's so true because basically, and you're seeing it now with Mahomes, especially after week 1, and maybe now that they barely won against Jacksonville, they calmed down with it a little bit, and Kelsey came back, but they say like, oh, Daniel Jones needs help, and what they'll say is, oh, well, if Daniel Jones was a good quarterback, he'd make the players around him better. Patrick Mahomes has no Kelsey, his guys are dropping passes, whatever, and it's immediate, Patrick Mahomes needs help, he needs Travis Kelsey, da-da-da, like, why does he need them? Why does he make his players better? So this is like that, you know, the way that the media can either say, oh, well, the DB made a great play to bail out the quarterback and make him look a little better, or they're just going to throw the quarterback under the bus. So this, I appreciate just the fact to see like how much you're trying to dick ride Tua right now, where instead of just throwing him under the bus, they're just trying to acknowledge how great he's been. Like the fact that he's thrown for 725 yards is the most that any Dolphins quarterback has thrown for in the first 2 games of a season. Look it up.
Oh, you know,
That was a great play.
that was a great play. Great play, but he underthrew it, and he let the kid come in and make that high point play, which he made. And defensively, they tightened the bolts. They didn't even have what Jalen Phillips wasn't even on the field. They don't have Jalen Ramsey yet.
Right.
They're supposedly going to get him back in December. I mean, and the way that the coach is clearly dialed in and still being himself, like running, like sprinting off the field after his halftime
They love
interview.
McDaniel.
He
Yeah,
took
that was
off
funny.
himself. That's for the Miami Dolphins is healthy. Hear about the Dolphins out of anybody's mouth starts with if Tua stays healthy. And after the game, this was Tua
That's all they say.
Tagovailoa
If Tua
hearing
stays
about
healthy.
the
If Tua stays
stat
healthy.
that he's now 5-0 against Bill Belichick.
Let's hear Tua
As a pro.
talk. Let's hear our leader.
You're now 5-0 against Bill Belichick's defense. What are you doing right?
Well, I think our team is 5-0 against Bill Belichick. It's never a me thing. It's never a me thing. And, you know, I don't think we ever look at it as, oh, we beat them once, we beat them twice, we beat them 5 times in a row. Every time we face Coach Belichick's team, you know, it's always a challenge, and we know we're going to get their best. But it's hard to play against a team like that, especially here on the road in Foxborough. You know, we're going to take them however they come, and you know, we'll continue to move forward on whatever team that we have next.
And that's England against Belichick.
I don't want to hear what he's saying here. I just wanted to leave this up here so we can talk about it. Let's look at this. Chargers, New England, win-win. Denver, that's a win. Buffalo, we'll see. Could be tough. It's in Buffalo. So let's just ignore that one for now, right? Let's ignore the ones that are toss-ups, so to speak. So right now, 3-0. 3 wins, 4 wins. We're beating the Giants. Carolina, 5 wins. We'll skip Philly. 6 wins. Skip Kansas City. 7 wins, Las Vegas. 8 wins, Jets. 9, Washington. 10, Tennessee. 11, Jets. So, I'm at 11 wins. And that's not including this last 3, obviously. Dallas, Baltimore, Buffalo. We'll win 3 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3. I know we're not losing all 3. But let's just say we win 1. That gives us 12 wins. We win, what was the last one I skipped before that? Kansas City. I really see us, truthfully, beating Kansas City the way they've played so far this year. I mean, their defense has been sus for a little while now. They played better last week because Chris Jones was back. Yeah, great. Good job, buddy. And their offense has just not looked the same. I mean, I'm not going to count them out. Mahomes is obviously a great quarterback, a great player in this league. Travis Kelce is obviously an amazing tight end. Andy Reid, great coach. But the way that if we continue at the pace that we're going and they continue at the pace that they are, we're taking that game. So I can easily put us at 13 games. And I'm pretty sure that was my prediction, was 13-4. So we're looking good.
Then circle week.
Belichick, Tua's never lost to him. Tua said afterwards.
Then circle week.
Let's hear more people.
And they beat Bill Belichick. Tua's never lost to him. Tua said afterwards, the Dolphins have never lost when I've started. It's not me, which I appreciate what he's saying. They've got a record number of yards through 2 weeks in the history of their franchise, and that's a franchise that's done some stuff. Yep. It's only 2 weeks, and yet is it enough to say this squad right here is going to
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I felt like the questions in the offseason about Tua Tagovailoa wasn't his play, it was his health. As long as Tua Tagovailoa is healthy and he and Mike McDaniel have the synergy in play calling and also execute.
Wasn't he about to get knocked out by Tua like a few weeks ago when he said that Tua was fat and out of shape? Now all of a sudden you're talking about how great Tua is.
You can't lose with those skill players. And Vic Fangio
soft.
to find his way as the defensive coordinator. And last night we had to remember they didn't have Jalen Phillips. And so this is a defense and a team that I believe when they play complementary football are going to be extremely.
I love that song.
They had Van Ginkel though.
Yes, I love that Andrew Van Ginkel got some big time clout this week.
Have the best wide receiver quarterback tandem.
People need to understand why we paid him. I know we haven't paid Wilkins yet.
And to your point, it's the way they won those games. It's the most impressive 2 wins of the season because they were on the road and they got a track team on offense, y'all.
I'm gonna go with Miami, okay? Number 3
Stephen
offense, number 1 passing attack in the National Football League, okay? Tua be completing about 65% of his passes. Monster running out of the football, running out.
Bro, this guy needs to take a breath. Jesus, I aspire to use some of his energy in my own podcast because I know sometimes I come off a little low energy, and I feel like I'd be higher energy once I get people on here and I'm talking to other individuals and recording and getting to do a back and forth. Remember, it's a little different, and I'm not a streamer, okay? I'm not 10 to 10 and be like, "What's up, guys?" That's just not how I'm gonna be talking about football or talking about bartending. There's nothing, I'm not showing you guys anything crazy. But God, man, does he need to take a breath so he can make his points? Because you can't understand half the shit he's saying. Who's this?
yards a carry. Yes. Oh, by the way, scored 60 points in the first 2 games, averaging 30. They ain't get up 40 to nothing on Saquon Barkley and a bag of chips to open the season in East Rutherford, New Jersey, with the New York Giants, and then you get Zach Wilson. I mean, just stop the presses. Stop the presses. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys have gone to.
Sorry for the awkward pause.
Such stiff competition. Offensive speed note. Miami has 4 of the 9
Listen to this.
fastest ball carriers in the NFL so far.
These speeds are just from the last 2 games.
21.66 miles per hour, his 47-yard TD catch. Mostert, 21.62 miles per hour, his 43-yard TD run. Tyreek Hill third, 21.52 miles per hour, his 35-yard.
That just deserves.
I'm fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy.
This team is absurd on offense. The speed that we can achieve, and they haven't even seen David A-Chain at full speed yet. And listen to what he said, because I forgot who said it. I'm pretty sure it was Virgil. Our boy Virgil trying to tell me that Raheem Mostert looks slow.
Tyreek Hill third, 21.52
My
miles
mouse
per
is
hour,
trash.
35-yard TD catch.
I just want to hear.
47-yard TD catch. Mostert, 21.62 miles per hour.
21.62 miles per hour on that rushing touchdown on Sunday.
35-yard TD catch. Jalen Waddle, 21 miles per hour, 35-yard TD catch. The speed, the elusivity, the route running, the accuracy of Tua Tagovailoa. Now, if Micah Parsons was doing that.
See, and that's why I had to cut it off, because obviously Stephen A, being Stephen A, has to just go immediately back to talking to the Cowboys, even though the subject was, I think it was like, who would they prefer, or, I mean, it said it, whatever. Who would they rather have? I think they said the Cowboys defense or the Dolphins offense, which to me is the Dolphins offense. I mean, who have the Cowboys played? The Giants and the fucking Jets? Like, congratulations. You're sweeping the 2 teams that have the name New York in their fucking title, and they both play in New Jersey. It's unbelievable. Now, I was going to play this top 20 Miami Dolphins moments of the decade from a few years ago, but I'm looking at how much time I've already had on here. I'll save it for next time. Gotta, get some of that content nice and ready. I want to be more reactionary on some things, where I like being able to talk to you guys about what happened in the game, but at some point this season I need to get a day off and just live stream, or just at least, I'll live stream it anyways and just record myself reacting to the game, because I see it from so many other like fans and stuff, and I just feel like it'd be so fun, and it'd be so cool in the sense that like you would actually get to see my raw reactions, because I'm crazy. Sometimes I'm extra cold in the sense that like I see something happen that like should excite me, and I just turn around and go, why should I be excited? That's exactly what I thought would happen, But yeah, I did want to keep wrapping. I did have to, finish some laundry, pack up a little bit. Have a wedding in Vermont this weekend. I will be out of town. I will be catching the Dolphins while I'm in Vermont, which totally sucks because I'm, going to be in Boston area too. If this wedding was this last weekend, I would have been sick because could have watched Dolphins Sunday Night Football in New England. And I don't care how much money it would have cost or how broke I would have been. I would have went to Amscot and took out a motherfucking loan just to go watch my Dolphins play. But anyways, with that being said, I love you guys. Most importantly, love yourselves. Tell your friends that you love them. And just, be patient. Be patient with people. Just love people, man. Because, it's sad again. But, you never know when things can end for anybody. Stay safe, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Mwah!